Recently, my family and I uprooted and moved to the mountains. I decided to start a series about mindfulness, productivity, and my own creative pursuits. Hi, I'm Rob. This is my first video. I'm actually new to YouTube and I'm gonna be posting a lot more. Kind of wanted to get this going to get it set up and to really start to dive into who I am, what I'm planning on doing, and why it matters. First of all, I wanted to point out that there is a Triceratops on my desk. This is actually a gift from my wife. And I wanted to call it out because I love it. She gave it to me for my set. And she's a gardener, she's really great at it, and this is awesome. So that's gonna go right there. Part of what was difficult for me was getting started with this. I shot video of me in the woods. I shot video of me vlogging, so talking to the camera, trying out different things. I shot video through airports, video that I thought was gonna be part of like a travel vlog. I shot video as I was traveling back and forth to Asheville, North Carolina, which is where I go a couple times a week to work remotely there. There's a lot of video footage that I've created that I'm not using. I'm basically scrapping all of it. I couldn't decide where I wanted to go. Every story was fragmented and everything was not part of a greater story that I wanted to tell. And something I needed to finally tell myself was to just get started. So that's what this video is. It's a quick video for me to just discuss who I am, why I'm here, and what I'm doing. I recently moved to the mountains of North Carolina and it was well worth it, but it was extremely crazy. And I've been spending the last 6 months of my life thinking about what matters to me, thinking about where I am, where I've been, and where I'm going. And it's really kind of been a great exercise for me to start to put things in perspective and to start thinking more about wellness, more about my longevity, more about being mindful and present for my kids and my wife and my family and myself, and being more balanced. I live right outside Asheville in the middle of the mountains. I actually live in the middle of nowhere. And it's beautiful and I love it, but it does pose its own challenges because I have a remote team back in St. Louis. I am the CEO, I'm a founder of Pixel Press, which is a video game company aimed at making it easier for kids to create content and stories through video games. We have a product called Bloxels. And I have a team back in St. Louis. It's been interesting because I wanted to make this move and I wanted to make this change, but it comes at its own costs. Before I co-founded Pixel Press, I co-founded Houndstooth, which was a digital design and development agency aimed at services for clients. So now I've worked in the services world and I've worked in the product world, but either way, I'm making new products and ideas for other people. And so something that I wanted to get going for myself was getting back to creating art, content, and generally being creative for myself. It's something that I've kind of lost over the last 10 years or so. Having kids, running companies, building businesses, all of that has been the best time of my life so far. But I do feel like I'm missing out on a few things. So that was the impetus for creating this channel. So I kind of wanted to walk through a little bit of who I am, where I come from, and kind of where I'm going with this. First is this guy. This is the JVC high band something or other. It was my companion for a really long time, 20 years ago, something like that, and up through my 20s. I used to carry this around with me everywhere. It's a basic Handycam style video camera, records to tape. And I found boxes and boxes of those tapes. I was actually when we moved up here, there's a lot of boxes and things, and I dug this out of storage. And when I dug it out, I decided to watch some of the videos, and I realized that, wow, I really did have this with me everywhere I went. And I would tape and I would film, and I would take it with me to shows. I would take it with me to travel for trips. I would do everything with this guy. This was my companion, and I'm actually impressed that it still works. I spent years and years of my life playing as a musician in a band, singer, guitar player, multiple bands throughout my mid-teens all the way up through my mid-20s. And I spent a lot of time doing that, and that was a huge creative outlet for me. In fact, it was the biggest and most important part of my life for a really long time. You know, so I had video, and then I had music and bands and guitars and all of that jazz. And then I went to New York City in the mid-2000s, and I wanted to kind of be a grown-up. I wanted to do something new. I wanted to wear a suit and carry a briefcase, and I have no idea why, but it was something that I really wanted, and I did that. And I went and I worked up there at a marketing department for a big corporation. Not my cup of tea, but while I was up there, I ended up buying this guy, which was my first foray into photography, really. My family had always had cameras around, but this was new for me. Just a Nikon D70. So I would just take this guy out and my dog, and we just go roam around. New York City is such a great place to go out and, you know, explore and see what you can capture. It was my only creative outlet, but I wasn't doing anything with it. It was mostly just me going back to my apartment in Manhattan and editing videos. And while that was, or not videos, I'm sorry, editing photos. And while that was fun, you know, I didn't do anything with it. So fast forward a few years, I had quit the band scene. I was not filming anymore. I worked for a financial institution for a while. Eventually gave that up and took them on as a client with one of my friends, and we started a design and development studio and built websites and apps and marketing campaigns and things like that for various people. So I really moved on to, you know, this guy. Programming was a big thing for me. I loved computers, I loved tinkering, and I loved getting in there and coding. I didn't know what I was doing at first. None of the things that I've mentioned I actually went to school for. I did go to college. I do have a degree, but I don't use it. I spent a lot of time programming and learning and building that company. Ended up founding Pixel Press soon, not too long after that. Built a really big, you know, pretty awesome company. Working with brands like Mattel and Disney and Lucasfilm, and working on Star Wars products and doing all sorts, Adventure Time, Cartoon Network, doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and I'm still doing that now. So I moved here about 6 months ago. I've been really into wellness and bettering yourself and productivity and being efficient and being mindful and balance and all of the, you know, buzzwords that are kind of out there right now. I really enjoy it though. So I thought, why not share this with some other people? Why not share this with the world? I think outwardly I'm starting to seem more happy and even keel and balanced and calm, and I think it's showing. People are starting to ask me, what are you doing? So that's why I started this channel. It's also an opportunity for me to be somewhat artistic, to be somewhat creative, and to take my creative skills and utilize them where I can for my own momentum, my own motivation. We forget sometimes that we need to motivate ourselves. We don't necessarily need to be outwardly motivated. We need to be intrinsically motivated. And sometimes in order to do that, you've got to motivate yourself. So a lot of these videos that I'm going to post about being motivated and being productive are going to be somewhat for me to look back on and realize and go through the process of setting this all up and building these videos. I'm going to be posting regularly every week. This is my first video, so you know, I don't have a whole lot for you other than just saying hi, and that this is going to be new for me, and I hope to have you subscribe and come back and tell me what you think. Thanks. Try it again? Maybe we should try it again. You think we should try it again?